So this is a meeting about nothing. It's very simple, it's very ordinary, and doesn't get anywhere. So it can be a hope coming to these meetings and trying to find out or trying to be more clear about what's being said, or trying to maybe not have that me anymore so much or something like that. There's no hope. There's no hope because it's already complete. It's already that what is happening, what is apparently happening. It isn't something you say to yourself. So that's can be some people I hear on the internet, people living their lives and saying when something is going on, yeah, but that's what's happening, and saying that to themselves or to yourself. That's completely a misunderstanding of this message, the way I put it here. It has nothing to do with that. It's a new way trying to deal with what is going on. So there's me, and I'm trying to deal with in a certain way, saying that this is also what is happening or something. It's much more simple. It's already. So there's no need for anything. There's no need for anything. That's the amazing thing about this. It's not even a message. It's a sharing about what's going on. Then when they're saying there's living in the story, and there's time, and there's distance, and that's so normal, and that's the way we think, and there's evolution and development, and before and after consequences and all that. And suddenly there's somebody talking like me or other people too, like it's completely out of the story. It has nothing to do with circumstances, with the story. It has nothing to do with you, because there is no you. That's something that most of the time is never questioned. If there's a you, if there's the possibility that time and distance are not real, are a construct of the brain, we can understand. But it's a filling in of what's going on, and it makes it into a story. There's no story. When there's me, there's a story. When no me, it's no story. It's what is happening. So hand or a feeling can happen, but it's never because of something. That is an amazing thing. We are so into this is because of that, and trying to find out why and all that. And then suddenly hearing there's no because, there's no why. It's like there's that feeling, sadness, and there's no reason for it. We are so quick in their circumstances, and because of those circumstances, it's very normal that you're sad for example. And suddenly there's something going on like, oh, what is that? There's that feeling. It has no lines or no relation with anything. It's that feeling is full on there for no reason, no why. It's that feeling can be there. And that's what is. That's what is going on. And then suddenly there's something else, and there's can be the table or something. And then I don't know, then something else is going on. So it's very obvious. It's not even obvious. It's like, oh, I can't even say. It's so like when there's that idea, that concept, that belief that everything is because of something else, and it's like, how do you say that? It's tricking. No, no. There's something going on when there's some reaction. There seems to be a reaction on circumstances, and then suddenly it's like, oh, it's not. I can't even find those relation between that feeling and those circumstances. And the circumstances changes, and there can be also that feeling. And suddenly it's like, oh, there's nothing to do with circumstances. It's that feeling on its own, you could say. That's amazing. So then the whole construct about why and because and time is completely questioned and out of the window, or maybe less. That can be also like that. So it's not that strong, can be not that strong anymore. That circumstances are not the cause of something. It's just those streets or those circumstances, an illness or anything else can happen. But circumstances changes. It's like that and that and that and that. It's not one circumstance, it's the whole day. It's like it's like that. It's the same as the wall. And we are so used to live in a story. So the story seems to continue and seems to go on for when there's something happening, it will happen for a long time. And how will I deal with that after a month or after a year, or after a week? There are no weeks. There are only weeks in the story. And the funny thing is, when that everything is lost, that ability to abstract is still going on. So there's still understanding. There's a week and there's a year or all that. It's just that looking in the agenda and seeing like, oh, then that's what's going on or all that. But when there's sitting and there's what I was doing, I was thinking and about what's happening in 1 year, and I'm like, what is 1 year? I can't even say what is 1 year. I can't even imagine what is 1 year. So that idea that what is happening in 1 year of after 1 year, something like that. It's a dream. It's an idea, a belief of there's something going on and we know or we think we know, and there can be some ideas about that. I don't know. This is about not knowing. It's what is happening and that's everything. There's no knowing of anything. This is not about being clear also. So that seems like, oh, I want to be like Rose or somebody else maybe. But there's no Rose. There is already no Rose. That face and that body isn't always there. It's not a life of Rose going on. That's the misunderstanding. We think we're real. We're always there. The body is always there and all that. It isn't. It's crazy. This is so crazy talking about appearances and nothing is real. It's only an appearance of a body or a street with no meaning at all. And it's not like, oh, an understanding of that and maybe trying to make it happen like, oh, this is an appearance and how do I deal with that? You don't have to deal with anything. When there's no understanding of appearances and nothing is real, then not. It doesn't matter. Then everything seems real, then that's what's going on. It's already complete as it is, exactly as it is. Then the energy is like that, seeing things as real and there's a belief of things. No, then that's what's going on. There's nothing right or wrong with that. The only thing is it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't mean anything. And it can feel like this is important. Or it can feel like, oh, I can't even see the importance anymore so much. So that can happen too, like losing the ambition or losing that importance of the really control. Because there's no control. There never was control. There seems to be control in life and making with your free will, doing things or with thoughts, thinking positive thoughts, believing that when I think positive thoughts, then there maybe will happen something good. It's a nice thinking, but it's just thinking. It's not you doing that. That's so crazy. We're so involved in that I'm able to make my thoughts uh, to think like, oh, there's positive thinking and it makes something happen. Give power to the thoughts. Maybe there isn't. Maybe there's no power in thought. Maybe there's only thoughting. Just that. And nobody doing that. It's just that. So there's no one doing the thoughts or thinking the thoughts. Thoughts are energy, what's happening. like feelings, like the table. There's no center, there's no one inside, there's nothing which is happening to. It's floating in the air, you could say, and there's energy, and then there's feeling, or a table, or a face, thoughts. It isn't a story, but we are able with our minds and with the brain, no, not with the mind, with the brain can abstract and then thinking a story and then making it into something that you think it's about that. The meaning seems to be very important. And hearing here that there's no meaning in anything. It's just what's happening. It's that, exactly that, without meaning, purpose, or anything. It's just that. It's that. And that's amazing because it's very simple. It's very ordinary. And the funny thing is also when there's that idea that trying to make your life work and feeling like this is important and I have to do that, there's an awareness, a thinking about things and being busy with what's going on and focuses on yourself and what's being done and what's important or what you don't like or what you like and all what you want maybe. So that focus is there. And then on what's that joy, what life is. Life is that subtle joy, that unconditional love, that aliveness, that subtly is moving at the background. It's the only thing there is, but when there's that focus on what's going on, that seems to be really important. So that's what's being lived, you could say. And suddenly when that's not that strong anymore, there can be suddenly like, that when there's something lost, it's suddenly like, but it was never lost. It was already there. It's the only thing there is. And all those ideas, all those giving meaning, was just a dream. It isn't wrong, but it's a misunderstanding. It's making it into something else in a story, assuming that there's someone suddenly there, or stronger. And then when there's someone, there's also always that feeling like this is not enough. And there's that drive to make it right, to do something with it. When that whole construct is lost, that drive is also not there. There's nothing going on about right or wrong. There's no right and wrong. It's only in the story. It's very simple and very ordinary. They can be talking about anything. It's not about that there's suddenly, when there's no one, there's quietness and peaceful and all that. No, it's everything. It's everything. So they can be talking in a lot of stories. There can be hearing story about my mother is dying and how do I feel and all that. And there can be responses in that. Or they can be just sitting on the couch or anything. There's nowhere to go. This is not better than something else. There's no one. So nothing is better than something else. So there's also nothing going on like you should do this or all that. Now, how could you? There's no one already. That's already the case. But it's complete as it is. So it doesn't matter what it is. That's that's unconditional love. That there's no need for anything else. There's no need for change. Change can happen. There's no need for anything. It's all already exactly that. That face, that feeling, that response, that walking, watching television. It doesn't matter what's happening. It really doesn't. It's already that, what is happening. There's no meaning in that. That's the joy. That's the freedom too. So we can talk about that. And there can be any question. When there are issues in the story, and maybe that makes you like, oh, making a lot of ideas about what's going on and complication, then there can be questions about that or anything else. Or maybe sharing, or maybe nothing can also be. So we'll see what's going on, and that's it. Mm.
Hey, Rose.
Hi, hello.
Hi. Uh, so, does that mean that there's no need to have a, like, sort of, I don't know, a system of values? Like, I am who I am because I have integrity, or I
Mm.
am honest.
Mm. No, I don't know if I'm honest or not. I don't know. What is honesty? What is integrity? For me, it feels like it's very abstract. I know if it's honest, when there's this talking, then that's what is. And is that honest? I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm asking because it seems very apparent to be honest, and
Uh,
therefore, but it's as if there's no. It's not because it's honest. It's just what's happening. So,
yeah.
like those things still appear, but you don't have to like try or write them on the wall or you know.
Yeah, or that can be lying. Yeah, why not? There's no value in that too. Or that, yeah, we are so having an idea about how you should live and what's important in that life and about trust and and honesty and all that.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
would be.
know.
I
There's
would be.
no one. When there's no one, there's it's energy. So it's not about you deciding. It's like how it's going like that. There's no choice in that. So when there's someone, when there's someone, there's immediately the whole story about how to deal with everything, and when you are honest and integrity and all that, then your life should be better. Or maybe I don't think no, I don't know, but there's an idea about that. And there's some people are liars, they're awful and bad and all that. There's that dividing like that, and awful and nice and all that. Life
Yeah,
is what it is, and it's when there's dealing with it, there's always that story about, and there's different ideas about integrity or honesty and all that. So it's very complicated.
I feel like if I am honest, then I'll feel good, and if I stay around honest people, I will stay honest.
Hmm. But there's
But
no choice in being honest or in being with people. That is what's happening. So there can be being with people, and maybe you feel like they're honest, and maybe they're not. I don't know. Maybe not.
yeah, oh yeah, well that's definitely happened.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And then there's a shock because I felt like I trusted you and oh my God, this is what's going on and all that. Yeah, of course. That's the whole story about everybody, of course, that everybody meets those things and all that in circumstances. So it's the story of me.
Yeah,
And that it's all in the end, and that's it's not wrong or right, but in the end it's about when there's me, there's wanting to feel good in a simple way and avoiding pain. That's how life is going, or how you deal with life in a certain way so you feel good about yourself or your circumstances, and trying to that there will be no pain or sadness or all that. There's no choice. And that's amazing because it seems like, oh my God, and that whole control and trying to deal, and I'm pretty good in it, and it's going in a good way, in a certain way. It feels, but it's like, yeah, it has some stressy or tension and that. And there's a longing, there can be a longing when there's coming also to this music, like for a freedom of something else, maybe but it feels like, it's like, oh, that freedom, it's too free. It's like, then everything can go wrong or anything. That's most of
yeah,
the time, that can be the fear.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I know. I know too. When I don't do this, oh, everything goes wrong. Oh, yeah, I did that with my children. And it's like that. And I how I felt suddenly, but because was very convinced about that, and then there were some moments, and then I was forced to not do anything in all kind of different ways, and and everything did go on. I was like, how is that possible without me doing that or taking the control and all that? So, and all already in that way for me, it was like, oh, I don't know. And when everything is lost, the strange thing is, it's not about right and wrong. There's nothing going on about, like, I don't want to feel pain, or it's better to feel lucky or happy or all that. A strange thing is that there's no preference in that way about how to feel. It's not like there's nothing going on like looking at it and, oh, this is awful. Oh, this is nice and all that. That's lost. Looking at it is lost. So there's no. how do you say that, dealing with it or judging about it or all that. It's what it is. And then suddenly it's like, yeah, there's that feeling. It's life. It's that. Doesn't mean it's nice or anything or, well, it's what it is.
Yeah, it's it's like I put aside the subtle joy of life to be focusing on making sure everything goes the
Yeah.
right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that, because we're so used to that, you're not the only one, of course, that we're so used to focus and to do the right thing and be busy with that and trying to deal with everything. And that focus is very busy, and sometimes it's nice and it's succeeding and it's going well and all that, or not, and then there's feelings of pain or all that. And the strange thing is, what I can say is when that's all lost, that whole dealing with it and everything, there's something going on like, oh, life is joy already. It has nothing to do with circumstances.
Yeah.
Wow, I was always busy with trying to find the right way and to feel happy again and all that. It has nothing to do with happy. Happy is for a moment, or sadness is for a moment. There's something else, aliveness, or that subtle joy somewhere. That life is that. Look at little babies. They are that. There's no identity. There's just life, and it's in the crying even or in the laughing. There's no in that way. There's no difference.
Yeah.
But there seems so much that holding on to that idea or belief that I do it and I exist. It's very strong, of course. It can be a fear to let it go, but you can't, of course. It is not about letting go. It's about you never you never was there. And that we are so convinced that you are the one who's choosing. No, it never was. It's energy. It's going in a certain way and there's no one in between. There's no center or it's something that it's happening to. There's no place that it's happening to. We are always in distance, like here and there, and this is happening to this and happening to that. Now it's happening. It's that circumstance, it's that feeling. It's just in the air, you could say, or something. It's not for someone or going somewhere. It is.
Yeah. So when you see a picture of you,
Yeah.
do you just think like that's like not funny, but sort of like um just another thing? Like it's just another part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that image. And then already there's something else. It's the table. There's that whole idea that you are there. It's just they're nothing. And then the table is everything and whatever. And there can be a feeling. So there's no difference between all that. We are thinking that feelings are happening inside and then making in that in my life and all the whole story. It's that freedom is that feelings are just in the air like that and then they're stable and all that is and it's all energy and then in a certain way and then that and then that and that seems like circumstances. It's amazing. It's a miracle how it's going. It's like a painting but in all kind of ways and it's just without meaning. It's just like that. Wow.
Yeah.
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 Mm,
Wow. Beautiful. Thanks.
thank you. Mm. And this is also energetic. So there's no need to understand this or apply or whatever. It's energetic. So it's already I don't know even know I can't remember what's being said there. So it doesn't matter. It's already something else. That can be like we want to have something in our hands to grasp it or to take it home and do something with it. And uh, understanding is a huge part of how to deal with everything. And this is can be understood, but it's nothing. There's understanding, yeah. There's information, then there's understanding. What is there? It's a glass of tea. What is there to understand? Or a feeling. What is there to understand? It's the understanding is about how to deal with it, or where does it come from, and what is it, and all that. I don't know what it is. It's a feeling. That feeling can be there, and then something else is going on. Then there can be stories about it. There can be a story. It's not real, but there can be that story, and it's not that the importance of the story is lost. So there can be stories. It's everything. So when there's a going on a story, like, oh, this is why, and how, why do I feel like this, and all that, all those ideas, and that can be there. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not like something that you shouldn't do, or like, oh, when that is finished. No, it's energetic. So those ideas can be there, or those thoughts can be there. But what's lost is the meaning and the importance of it. And sometimes it seems like it's more like, and then it's lost again, or maybe it's stronger. Yeah. Oh, your audio isn't blocked. And well, nothing has to do, she's saying, nothing has to do with your beliefs. Like I'm worth nothing. I learned it as a child, and then you will have a shitty life. No, nothing has to do with anything. There's no past. We're so convinced that the past will influence that what's going on now, and then there's a lot of ideas. There can be ideas and really beliefs about something. And those beliefs can be really like very strong and very convincing. There's no one. Everything is new. There's no past. It's new. It's this. And it's not about you. So it's not about your life. You don't have a life. There's no one. So it's not like you're not worth it. That can be the story that there's not worth it, and then there seems to be circumstances. But there can be a meaning in it, or an importance. Nothing is important. It's not saying to someone, "Oh, you're not important." That can be that's some idea, but nothing is important. It's not about there's someone. This is energetic. So this is not talking to someone and trying to convince that there's no one and all that. That's nonsense. This is energetic. So when there can be a hearing, and that hearing is energetic. So it has nothing to do with you don't hear what I say and all that. No, it has nothing to do with that. That's all ideas about how we are raised, and we think like it's very important what you do in the story and how do you live. There can in this kind of meetings it's only energetic. The words can be there can be an understanding of the words, but there's something else underneath which is going on, which has nothing to do with anything. It's energetic. It's about there's nothing right, there's nothing wrong, and there's no one. So there's already no one. So the talking here is not talking to someone or trying to explain or all that. No, it's just coming. It's energetic. When I'm saying also, when they're saying everything is already complete, we have a misunderstanding about the word complete, like certain perfection or all that. Complete, what's being said about complete is exactly how it is. There's no need for anything else. It's already that what is going on, that phase, that circumstance. It's that. But circumstance is not in the story, but that 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 how do you say that? That room or something else. It's just that. It's very simple. That circumstance, you chick, 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 it's very quick. You can't even follow. There's no line. There's no development in that, or no story. That's what a made up. It's a misunderstanding. There's nothing happening. There's this, hands, and that's everything. It's only that. So there's no story. There's nothing about what I did before. There can be thoughts. Thoughts are only thoughts. We have so many ideas and so many making thoughts important, and they have an influence about what's going on, and we should think positive or do something else. Thoughts is energy also, like the table. It's a different energy. That's it. Without meaning. There's no meaning in thoughts. That's crazy because thought seems to be really important in the story. And that's questioned. Is there an importance in thought? I can't see it. Doesn't mean it's the truth, what I'm saying or what here is being said. There's no truth. There's a sharing of what's. There's a sharing. Just that.
Hey, Rose.
Yeah. Hi.
I wanted to ask, how come it seems like naturally the human organism or whatever it is inclined to think negatively versus positively?
When there's I am someone, that's suddenly there. When the brain can abstract like 2, 3 years old, and there suddenly seems to be time and distance, and there seems to be like someone's over there, and the whole story starts with I'm here and this is my life. Then suddenly there's living in two, because there's a distance about what's going on. There's a looking at what's going on and trying to deal with it, and all that learning seems to be important and all that. So there's right and wrong. It's a story of right and wrong starts. It's knowledge about when there's knowledge and looking at it, then there's right and wrong.
It's very annoying.
It's very annoying.
Very annoying because it's so heavy and it's so
Mm.
oh, and you can't get rid of it. It's just it's stuck. Like it feels like it's stuck and it does not move.
But you can't get rid of it, of course, because there's already no one. So there's no one doing that. But there's no importance in it, and that can be let. There can be that's energetic, like the importance of that. Oh, this is so positive, or this is I'm so negative about things, and how can I change that? Oh no, I don't need to change that. All that. That can be like being so busy with it, or like, oh God, this is there. Well, oh yeah, I can't even bother about it. Oh my God, there's someone knocking at the door, and like looking at it's just a story, but looking at it like, oh my God, no, no, that's too much. So it's like that. It's that simple. Is we're so like it's so sticky, and everything seems so important to do it in a certain way. It doesn't matter. There's nothing important or meaningful. So there can be that doing that or not. It doesn't matter. Life is everything, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't see you doing that or all that. It's just energy. Well, we think we we have to do it in the right way or something like that. And maybe there's something coming like, oh, I'm now always positive and negative, and now I hear there's no positive and negative. How can I change that or something like that? Oh my god, that's the same story again. So it's so tricky. It's about that. You
Oh,
can't there's it's there's no one who can change anything. So that's already like that. So why bother? But when there's that being busy with it, then there's being busy with it. Yeah, so what? And then suddenly there's walking outside and there's nothing going on. Then that's what's going on. So it's different. It's energy. It's just energy going. And then yeah. So
that's
what?
exactly how it goes. That's exactly it. I wish it would have a more pleasant tune.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh
I
my
know.
god.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yes, that's exactly how it is. It's so like
yeah,
and this communication puts everything in such a limbo where it's like
yeah,
one foot in and one foot out. And yes, but
yeah,
no. And
yeah.
oh, it's
Yeah,
so
but the
frustrating.
funny thing is, there's no yes or no. We think there's someone in, and we can come out and all that. I can't even n- understand what is I. Of course, I understand, but in the same time, I can't understand that. It's much more simple. It's that it's like all those images, all those ideas. Seem everything seems important, and oh, maybe I can. Yeah, now it's better because now there's nothing, not so much being busy with it. It's just that be busy with it, and all those other. Yeah, that can be for some moment and for I don't know, and then after a while they're sitting and then watching television or I don't know something. Then that's what's going on. Nothing goes anywhere. So nothing is of any importance. If you're out of it or in it, there's already no one. So there's no out or in too. That's also a new story. That what me is that very clever because it makes up it sees like it's like this is story but it's like oh she's already seeing that that I'm not that important anymore. What can I do? Oh there's some imagination about yeah there's some development. You're already someone something is going well. You're one foot out and but there's still something going in, so maybe if you do a little bit more. Oh my god, it's the new story. Oh, but that's so convincing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is.
Mm.
It's so oh my god. You
Yeah.
know? It's
Yeah.
so oh my god, it's crazy. Especially when you're around other people. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, you can't tell somebody they're not important. Although I do love to mention that once in a while. They get very upset.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But that's the energetic part. It's like something going on, and you can't even say what it is, and something is how do you say in Holland in Dutch you say a mole, like something is creeping in, and you don't even notice. Like when the wood it's and it's putting the whole building what was being you're the building like that, and there's some like little bees like and they're making it less stable, and then suddenly it's like oh my god that's and it can be like that, or maybe it's not even noticed that it's not that important anymore because that when that's falling away a little bit or more. The funny thing is it can be so much not noticed because that's so normal.
Yeah.
That's so funny that it's like when there's nothing going on in a conversation, then it's very easy going and we're not busy with anything. But when there's somebody doing something like a bit strange, and then then there's something happening, and it seems like oh, what's going on? And then me comes back, but not the whole time.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you when you feel like you're doing the same thing, right? Like if something happens, you think you already experienced it, so you think you should know better.
Ah,
That's my favorite, right? Like that
ah,
is
yeah,
just I'm like,
ah,
why
yeah,
would that, and because you say everything's fresh and new, then it would make sense why it keeps happening and seems like it's again.
yeah. It's never again.
Ah,
It's new. Yeah, but it really it is. That's so strange because we are so into like looking at myself and you should do it like that and it's new, of course. How can it be exactly the same? It's never the same. No, it's making it like, oh, it's the same. Well, no, it's different. It's new.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, but it's amazing because you could be thinking one way 1 second, and then something will situation will happen, and you poof off to the races. Forget everything before, and you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But
oh.
it's energy. We think we are able to think before like how we should react. How can we do it? There's no one. We are so convinced that we're able. We have a free will, and in the situation we do what we decided before. Everybody knows, like, oh, we decide before and it's just going differently. Yeah. How is it possible? I didn't do enough and then all that. No, there's no one. It's just energetic. It's just going. And when the energy is like that, then the energy is like that. Yeah, so what? There's no meaning in it. It's not like this is better than that, because that's what we normally think. This is better because then I'm assertive, or I am what in a certain way complete or perfect. And that's that idea about perfection. I should be like that, and when does it start and all that. No, you're exactly that, and it's like random. It's everything. There's no like personality which here, and you know what is going. How can we think there's that all that package, there's a package? No, there isn't. It's energetic. It depends on. You could also say there's that in that situation there's a different, and with that person and in that day, and there's so many differences. How can, yeah, you don't know what's going on, but you don't need to, because it's yeah.
Hmm. Does it
That's
seem like
it's the freedom. It's the freedom of what is happening. Sorry, yeah, go on.
does it seem like like what you would call like good doesn't last as long as what you would call bad for the human being? Like,
Good. What?
yeah, like I feel like good times, like something that I enjoy,
Mm.
it feels like it lasts a second, but like if it's something bad or a fallout, that could last forever.
Yeah, because I think most of the time we are very busy with it and trying to find out what's the reason and how to get rid of it and being busy and all that. But when it's like joyful. There's nothing. Oh, how did I do it? Oh, what's going on here? And no, then it's like yeah, it's just that. Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
gonna try it next time. Be like, oh, why am I so happy? What's going on here?
Yeah.
This is very
You,
strange.
yeah, yeah. Oh wow. Oh
Oh,
wow.
that's great. Thanks,
Oh,
Rose.
that's great. I love this. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna tell that to my friends. Be like, don't be so happy, okay? It's just
Yeah. Yeah. Where does it come from? What did you do? Yeah.
Yes. I notice
Mm.
I notice there's nothing that anybody can do, like based on the way my cat is, because he has autoimmune disease, and there's nothing I can do. I can try, like I try to help him, but
Mm.
sometimes it seems that even what I try to do to help, that doesn't work. It actually makes it worse.
Oh, yeah. Can also be. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Strange
know?
enough. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then he'll be not good for 3 days, and then the next day he'll wake up and go "Prrr," and just completely good, like
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Can be like that. Yeah.
Mm.
It's so random. We are thinking that everything is aligned and in relation to something else, and when also taking care of someone, of taking care of an animal or like a cat, it's more about you, that you want to feel good, and then
Of
of course
course.
you want to feel her or him also, but it's mixed, and there's something else going on too. That so like, oh, so it's just what's going on. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with trying to let him feel in a certain way. Well, yeah, then it's going worse. Yeah, then that's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely not delusional about the fact that anytime you care
Yeah.
about someone or anything, it's all about you.
Yeah, in the end, of course, there's some
Yeah.
care taking. Of course, there's some concern, but in the end, it's also about you. Because when you do a lot of things about for someone, and some people are not grateful or don't thank you, then it will stop very soon. You see,
Yes, yes,
of
yes,
course,
it will.
yeah, yeah. So there's something going on about need and taking care, and that's funny thing that seems like loving, but there's some personal involvement in that too, of course.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I read a while ago that says that something between friendship or love, like human wise or anything like, or animals even, it's more of some kind of something to serve each other. It's not a personal need like we think it is.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I mean, but yeah, it's very very in and out. I don't like it, but I don't like
But
much.
there's
So
no in and out. There is no in and out. What is in and what is out? There is no in and out.
it
There
feels
is
like
a feeling. There's an
yes,
expectation that it would be someday it will be all in,
yes.
all out. I don't know what is the best, but no, it's both. It's everything. So it's not like, oh, now this is a peaceful life and there's no problems anymore, like that. Of course, no problems, not really, but there can be any feeling, and it's not like, oh, my life is now really like a paradise. No, of course not. It's everything. The same is going on. The only thing what's lost is the ability trying to change anything, and the importance, of course, that there's someone and all that. But there's also no ability. It's not being able, you could say in that way, in a certain way, to change anything. So there's no escape. It's what is happening, and there's what is happening everywhere, of course. It's just that's the only thing there is. And there's on top of that, there's that being busy the whole time with yourself or with the circumstances or whatever, about trying to change or trying to deal with it or trying to feel in a certain way or anything. That's lost, not the circumstances and how it's going. That's energetic, so that's going on, of course, in the same way, in that way. There's no escape, but that's no big deal. Yeah. And that seems for me like, oh my God, no
Yeah,
escape, help. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah. When
yeah.
it's really evident that there is no escape, it's very it's not exactly great.
No, no, it seems like, because
Ugh.
that feeling of control can be so strong, and when the funny thing is, when that's lost, there's no moment being busy with what. There's no escape. Oh my God, it's just not in the mind. It's just not coming up. It's just no. It's just living.
Mm.
That's more. It's always the fear is always before. And you know that also in circumstances, then when there's a fear, and then oh my God, and when it's happening, it's like, oh, was this everything? Was this it? Something like that. So it's you could say it's a bit like that. There's there's no big deal. It's very easy. Life is very easy. It's going by itself. There's no choice. But so what? There's not seeing me, but wow, what a freedom. It's not about me. It's not having to deal with that all day, what's going on. No, it's just what's happening. So that's very easy.
Mm.
Really, yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Thank you.
And it's not always nice or like, oh, hallelujah. No, there's also sadness and pain and just everything. But it's, yeah, okay. How can you say? Yeah, it's everything, of course. Yeah, thanks.
Mm.
Mm. Somebody's saying, sometimes I'm still thinking I did something wrong. Yeah, when there's me, then those thoughts are there. It's a lot of times about right and wrong. I'm doing something wrong. I should do this or all that. It's part of the story of me that there's right and wrong, and it's very it's so embodied that those beliefs are very strong. It's not only like the thinking or something like that. It's embodied, so that can be. It's so energetic, but it doesn't mean it's it's about the importance also. Those thoughts can be there, but yeah, it's the thoughts. And sometimes they're sticky and very strong, and sometimes it's like, oh, and you're already it's already there's the focus on something else, and you already forget they were there. It's different, can be different. Right and wrong is only in the story. There's no right and wrong. There's what is happening. Those thoughts, there can happen thoughts like I'm doing something wrong or I'm not good enough or all that. Yeah, just thoughts. Or just thought without meaning or importance. That's strange to hear. And you can't, when there's like, oh, there's maybe like, oh, okay, maybe when those thoughts come, I will say to myself, no, you're not important and all that. Then that's a new way of dealing with everything. The importance, well, it's energetic. This is energetic. So sometimes there's those thoughts and you can't even bother with that. It's like, oh my God, there's that one again. And something like that. But it's by itself. So it's not a dealing with it. So everything is energetic. So there can be in these meetings also going on something energetic about that. I can't even say because I don't know. Can happen or not. Life isn't interested. So there can be that energy, then that energy is there. There's no importance in anything. Feeling in a certain way or not feeling in a certain way, something else going on. It's neutral. And we think, oh, this is important because it's happening to me and all that. There's no one. There's no one. It's empty. The body isn't even real. So everything is just empty and like energy going, oh, hand or table. Oh, all that words. It's that without meaning. It doesn't matter what it means. It's energy. So there's nowhere to go. It's already energy in a certain way. And that can be, oh, I'm thinking I did something wrong, or there can be something else, drinking tea. It's the same. It's the same energy in a different way. And it's all, it's like feelings and sense and like smell and wall. It's water. It's come. It's amazing. But it has no meaning. It's just water like that. That's it. Feeling sadness. Oh, sadness, that feeling. uh Yeah, it's neutral. It's exactly that feeling as it is, for no one, for no reason. Yeah. There can be singing a song, someone singing a song, and you don't understand one word, not at all. And there can be suddenly that sadness, or maybe that joy. Suddenly, there's what's going on? It's energetic how things are going. It's not because of the song also. It's that song, it's that energy. It's that energy. It's amazing. Mm. Everything is singular. That's crazy because we are used that everything is dual, like two things, like this and that, and before and after, and over here, and that thing, and because, and all that. When I say everything is singular, you can't even imagine. Because that's so, well, that's the freedom. There's no relations. It's that feeling. Wall, words, sound.
Hey Rose, can I ask
Ah,
something?
yeah, of course. Hi.
Hey Rose. So there is I've been in these mute meetings a few times,
Mm,
and there is understand there is this meeting happening. There is Rose and all this non-duality talk happening, and there is observation of this understanding also happening, right? So I can see all of those things playing out as you say, but ultimately these are also concepts, right? And
yeah,
then there is a flip side of this, that there is a strong sense of this center, this I, to whom all this happening and all this understanding, all this observation is happening.
yeah,
And then I can go back and I can see that even that I is happening. So it's this back and forth, right? That is it the I to who this story is happening, or the I is part of this happening? Like how do I know what is true? Like it's and again, you can say that who's asking this question, and I get it, but
yeah. Okay.
how?
No, but that's I know that. But this is not like the some people are saying like who am I and all that, like trying to find out where there's no finding me and all that story. I'm not so into that. When there's being busy with that, then that's what's going on. When everything is lost, then there's not being busy, so it's not even noticed, but there's just living without knowing what's going on. I don't know. So that trying to find out and to be busy with what's going on here, and I feel this, and focus on yourself and all that is part of the me story. That's being busy trying to find out what it is and how it works and where is me and all that. It's the story of me. Or there's a higher me and a lower me, or there's a me over there. All that has so many ideas about that. There's that being busy with it. I call it like that. It's difficult to say it, but it's like when everything is lost, it's not like I'm sure there's no me. But there's also no doubt. There's nothing. There's living, and it's just never questioned. It's just not being busy. It's there's going shopping and very simple life. But and it's I don't know. It's more like there's not knowing. It's not like not there is not knowing. That sounds also a bit like special. It's more like if they're me or know me in that way. Well, it's like, yeah, there's nothing. I don't know if that's it. It's more like not knowing. But how can you say it? It doesn't matter. It's just life.
Yeah. Yes. Thanks, Rose.
Hey, thanks. This is so simple. It's even, how can you explain this? You can't. I can't. It's not about explaining because it's already what is happening. So we are so used to explain and to try to understand and try to work it out and trying to be busy and trying to deal with it because there's something not complete. There's a feeling, there's something going on. It's not yet, or what is this and all that. So there's all kind of ways like trying to feel it or trying to understand or trying to see insights and all kind of ways. And it seems like, you should say every body, mind, or that it's different. And when everything is suddenly not going on, because how it was here is like I was being busy all with everything in the same way, and then suddenly it stopped. It was like, oh wow, and it's just, and then there was nothing. It's just not really clarity or knowing. There's no knowing. And the funny thing is, because when there's coming in meetings, then somebody asks something, and then suddenly they're coming out. It's like sometimes it's even like, oh wow, what's being said here? It's like, oh, it's it's not like knowing that we assume it's like it seems like there's someone knowing that all that, and then when there are questions, there's coming that knowledge. It's not knowledge. When there's just being before the meeting or just walking in the garden or something like that, and then sometimes there's suddenly that question like, oh, can I go, like assuming like when there's a question and then trying to explain and there's nothing coming. I don't know. So there's no clarity. There's nothing. There's when there's clarity, there's someone who has clarity somewhere. When everything is lost, it's just nothing, and everything is just apparently happening, not to a center or something. It's just random. It's just a feeling, cup of tea, the wall. That there's there's no Rose. The life of Rose is just there's nothing. There's no one existing. But it's not only Rose. It never has been the lives of individuals. Wow, that's amazing. But that's also the freedom. Like, it's just energy. It's going. There are no individuals. There are no centers. It's random. There's no meaning. Oh wow! It's just that's the freedom. And we are so into, this is my life, and how can I deal and all that. And it seems like I'm apart from that whole. There never was being a part of the whole. There never was. It's only that misunderstanding that there's someone who's a part of it and trying to find the way back or something like that. There's no way back. It's exactly how it is going already. So there can be those questions and that all that those ideas. It's energetic. It don't have any meaning. It's not important, but it's what's happening. Doesn't go anywhere, doesn't need to go anywhere. It's just is questions, thoughts. Yeah, just that. But there's no difference between the meaning of thoughts and the meaning of the table. It's just the same. There's no meaning. That's the freedom too. I'm seeing a little dog there. Hmm. Oh. Sometimes there's somebody saying sometimes it feels a little bit like living as a hermit that feels lonely. Yeah, that lonely is in a way lonely is also a story. It's making it to because when you're someone and I'm here in my house like that and I'm in my own and there are no other people or no friends or nothing, nobody, then it like, oh, I feel lonely. What's going on? It's sitting on the couch. It's sitting. It's already that. There's no one. When there's someone and living a life, there's always something missing, and that can be a friend or feeling together or being in love or all that. But that being in love, that feeling one is already the only thing there is. It's that sitting is already it. It's not you are sitting, it's sitting. There's a feeling. It's not you are feeling that feeling. It's that feeling. There can be a sensation somewhere or a feeling or an emotion. It can be the wall. It's not you look at the wall, it's the wall is walling. It's already that. So there's living in love. It's the only thing there is. It's not your love. It's not happening to you because that's making it into a story of me. And then there's always something not right or something missing. When there's no one, there's suddenly like, oh, it's what it is. It's that. And then that whole idea of the missing or not good enough or all that is it's just it's just not there or not there seems to be strange, but it's it's everything. And in that everything there's something like joy. There's something, oh, it's like sometimes you can have that in the woods. There's not thinking about anything and just walking, and then suddenly like, oh, it's something, it's subtle, it's free, or everybody calls it maybe in a different way, silence. It's that. It's same as at home. There's no difference. And they're sitting. It's just sitting, watching television, sound. It's that. There's no inside and there's no outside. So we are so into like, there's the whole world outside of the house. There's a whole world with everybody there and all that. And I'm in this room alone. The room is everything. There's nothing outside of that room. There's no outside. This is everything. There's nothing else. It's just this. Just, it's this. We're so, when there's someone, there's everything seems so real. So this living in this house, there's outside, there's the street, and that outside there's other cities, and there's the world and other people, and imagining like photos, like, oh, somebody is together with other people, and all those stories, and or television, what you see there. It's this is energy. So nothing is solid or real. It's energy. It's this room, and there's a kitchen, and there's that's there, and it's like that, and there's sensations, and you can't even name it because it's so quick, and it's sensation, feelings. It's everything. So in that way, you can't even make a story of it. And then what we do is like we are a part of it, and we're trying to find what's missing. You can't, you never will. It's the misunderstanding that there's someone and that there's something lost. There's nothing lost. This is the only thing there is. Sound. This is already everything. It's already. There's nowhere to go. It's already that. What's happening? Hands, a computer, the letter O. It's that. There's no meaning in anything. It's already freedom. There's nowhere to go. It is what is apparently happening. It's the amazing sound. It's the lamp. It's light. It's table. It's body. It's a feeling. It's already that. It's complete as it is. It's exactly that, how that face is looking. And it's changing. So it's like that and then that now. It's, and there's no before. There's no time. So it's new. It's this. New. It's this. It's the only thing there is. There's no outside or inside or above or below or good or bad. That's only in the story of me. It's a whole construct about what's happening. Believing there's someone with a free will and choice to make the world in her or your way. There's no one. It's already complete as it is. It's exactly that. Already. Thank you. Oh, wait. Gaat niet goed.